Hey, I got 3 need-to-knows this weekend, so I want to make sure to get to those quickly. The first is the upcoming Hope for the Journey conference. This is Saturday, May 6th, here at the Timberline Windsor campus. We've hosted this conference with trauma-informed training especially for people involved in foster, kinship, and adoptive services, but frankly, for anybody that has involvement with students or teachers or whatever it looks like, even in just our relationships with other people. When other people have trauma in their lives and we need to interact with them, this provides such an enlightening training. We're paying the way for all of our children's and student ministry staff to be there. We want to invite anybody to this great conference. So save the date. Registration's open. You can check on our Facebook, our social media, or newsletters for links to register. But Hope for the Journey conference, wouldn't want you to miss it. Speaking of kids and youth, this weekend and next weekend, we're going to spend some time really bragging on our children's and student ministry programs and teams, because here on the weekends, I think there's a lot of us that we hang out in this wing of the building, and we may or may not know what's going on in great, fruitful ways in the other parts of the building and throughout the week in student ministry and in children's ministry. Man, these teams are doing incredible, incredible work. And we can see that through all kinds of numbers, through all kinds of testimonies and stories. So we're going to take some time at the beginning of the message time for each of the next 2 weeks just to brag on these teams and kind of celebrate what's going on with them. So I want to have one more need to know, because I had a friend, one of our connection leaders, email me the other day and say, hey, do you regularly meet with different connection leaders? It's a great question. And I felt like I wanted to kind of share my response to him, to this whole group. I said, I always love opportunities to hear how things are going. And on your question, generally, I will try to touch base either organically with leaders or as is needed, wanting to make sure that more meetings, me scheduling and having each of our leaders do more and more meetings, doesn't become too much. So essentially, trying to ensure that the door is always open for communication, but wanting to allow that to be on each leader, each group, to have the opportunity whenever they feel it's best. So I just wanted to share that with you, that if you feel like, hey, I'd love to meet and update Pastor John on what's going on in my group and seek some help, please let me know. I'm always open to that. I just don't want to inundate our groups with more and more meetings. So wanted to share that. Here we go. 2 bonus resource questions, just 2 today. I'm breaking out of the model of 3 for me. From basically the end of Galatians chapter 3 through chapter 5, that's not something we talked about in the message, so this is going a little bit deeper. Paul talks about his concern and inclusion of Gentiles as recipients and heirs of the faith alongside their Jewish brethren. In the life of the early church, a major pivot point developed when, under Paul's leadership, the people decided at the Jerusalem conference, that's Acts chapter 15, to expand the message and the practices of Christianity following Jesus to all people, not just Jews, thus not requiring people to observe Judaism in order to be Christian. Okay, that's just some background. Here's the question. With the New Testament posture towards Gentiles in mind, are there ways we might still be expecting people to observe practices before fully opening the Christian faith to them? Are there ways that we expect people to behave before we'll really consider them a part of us, belonging or believing? Second question. Consider the ways that your group might be able to ensure fun and celebration can accompany your pursuit of the serious cost of discipleship. We have an incredible calling, a serious mission. How can your group embody the fun part of that? Fun church, serious mission. Have a great time talking about that. Love you guys.